So the number one lesson we can learn from Harry and Meghan's relationship is that if you practice empathy on a regular basis with your partner, this really bulletproofs your relationship. Now look at their relationship. They've had to face major stressors in the last few years of being together. They've had a baby. They've had to transition to a new country. They've had to navigate a huge family conflict. For your relationship to be able to withstand this much stress, you need to practice empathy. You need to know how to look at different life situations from your partner's perspective. And if your partner is going through different pain points, for you to be able to feel a little bit of their pain and to be able to say, if I was in Meghan's shoes and my husband's family would treat me this way, I'd feel awful. Now, can you imagine how awful it would be when Meghan shared with Harry about her suicidal thought? How awful it would be if Harry would say, okay, you know what? I think you're overreacting. I think you're overreacting. My family is doing the right thing. You're being overly sensitive. Clearly, this is what made them a successful couple. Instead of minimizing Meghan's pain, Harry listened to Meghan's pain and was there for her in her times of need. So that empathy has helped them to come a long way. So my challenge to you is in your personal relationships. If you have a personal relationship that's going through a rough patch, have you been able to extend that kind of empathy to your partner? During the interview, you could see Meghan make statements like, my husband has the weight of the world on his shoulder. I didn't want to burden him with more of my stuff. So that's an example of empathy. She's thinking about what her husband is going through. And also for Harry was like, this is unfair for Meghan to go through. I've seen my mother go through this. So it was very clear in the interview that they both had a lot of empathy for one another. The second key strength that they showed in their relationship was that they were not afraid to show mutual appreciation to one another. Strong couples are not afraid to show appreciation for their partner, whether it's verbally or whether it's through their action. They show appreciation for their partner. Now, in Meghan Markle's interview, there was a point in the interview where Harry said, Meghan saved me. I felt trapped in that institution and Meghan saved me. And I think at that point, Meghan also jumped to the rescue and said, no, by all means, you saved me. You saved me and my mental health and my sanity by deciding to leave the country and having our own separate lives. In this example, they're clearly showing mutual appreciation. Now, one thing I noticed the most in distressed couples is that when they are in distress and the connection is not safe, they start to withhold that mutual appreciation from one another. If you're withholding empathy, if you're withholding mutual appreciation from your partner, it's very easy for your relationship to go downhill from that point. Now, my challenge to you is, how often do you show appreciation to your partner? If thinking about a relationship that you've been in for a while and maybe the relationship is hitting a rough patch, have you been able to show your partner how much you appreciate them? Are you even noticing the things you're appreciating about your partner? Third key relationship lesson we can learn from Harry and Meghan is that they've been able to put each other first over anything else. And when I say anything else, I mean even their primary families. Now, I will tell you why this is so important. Can you imagine if Harry would have taken side with his family and said, Meghan, you're overreacting to the situation? They've been able to put each other first, even over their primary families, and they're very clear about their priorities. Harry's priority is his family, is his kids, and he's clear on that. Now, a lot of times people are not clear on their priorities. If they're coming from toxic family relationships, toxic family dynamics, and they have an enmeshed relationship with their own parents or any other family members, they've failed to draw proper boundaries, proper healthy boundaries with their own parents. Once they get married, that same level of toxicity continues and spills into their marriage. Now, if you've been suffering in your own family from lack of proper boundaries, your partner is gonna suffer even more because they're not even in control of the situation. So can you put yourself in your partner's shoes? If you're coming from a toxic family where there are no healthy boundaries in place, if you're being taken advantage of by your family, being stepped on, disrespected, can you imagine what your partner is going through at the same time? Because you failed to stand up to your family, your partner has no control over that situation. So they're going to suffer 10 times more than you're suffering in that situation, because at least you have some level of control when you're dealing with your family. But if they're dealing with your family and they're suffering, they have no control over the situation. And your inability to draw proper boundaries with your family makes your partner suffer 10 times more. And a lot of distressed couples feel like their partners don't have their backs. So my question to you is, in your primary relationship with your partner, have you been able to make them a priority over your family relationships and any other relationships that you may have outside of your marriage and partnership? If you can practice empathy with your partner, if you can show appreciation for your partner, and if you've been able to put your partner first over all other relationships in your life, I promise you your relationship is going to be bulletproof. If you're interested to know more about relationships in the royal family, I have a video on Prince Charles and Diana's relationship, which I'll link somewhere on the screen here. Until next time, guys, for more relationship psychology with me, take care, bye.